Welcome to the UKOCR Community Podcast, presented by Obstacle Racing Media. Each episode, we'll be talking to race directors, elite runners, weekend warriors, and frankly, anyone else from the UKOCR scene that will talk to us. Here is your host, Alan, aka Muddy Duck.
Anywhere in Chicken Town. The bloody scene is bloody sad. The bloody news is bloody bad.
Greetings, friends, acquaintances, and anyone else who just happens to be listening. Welcome to another edition of the UKOCR podcast. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, where's Who's Hot? Because that's what I promised you on Friday on the Swift Half. But no, I get all my dates mixed up. It's been a hectic week. Please forgive me. I've been so busy at work. We've done the website. We're still working towards the awards. By the way, the awards, you can actually book your tickets now. If you go onto UKOCR.com, check out the awards. There's a link to book your tickets if you want to go. As you listen to this, the nominations are closed, and Will and his team and the panel that are behind it all will be choosing the shortlist soon, and we will have them out. Yeah, we will have them out in 10 days' time, and then it's 7 days to get your votes in, so we can order all the trophies and that, and for the awards night. And wait for it, you might already know, but if you don't, we're having a race down at Wild Forest. Yes, on the Nuclear Racers course, we're having a 3K, 20 obstacles, rigs. Sure, oh, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So you're going to get to race time. It's going to be a European and a FISO qualifier event as well. So you're going to get race with your time first, and then you can go around with a second lap and have a bit of fun. Yes, I'm going down. I hope you guys are as well. Only £45, which is absolutely amazing. Trophy, Nuclear Racers, hot showers, everything. Go to it. Nuclear Racers, Wild Forest. I'll pop the link in the description. And that, if not, check out UKOCR social media. Let's make it an amazing event. And then, of course, there's awards in the evening as well. Down at Mulberry House in, I want to say, Little Longer. I think it's all Little Longer. It's in Essex, just outside Brentwood. A lot of hotels close by, so if you can't book in there, I know they don't open their booking until after Christmas. A lot of us are already booked. A few of us are down at the Harlow, which is about 4 or 5 miles away, so some of us are stopping down there. If you want to join us, you're welcome to come and join us. Well, join us, I don't mean join us in our hotel room, because that would be completely wrong, but you can join us in the hotel. I think it's only about £68 for a double room, which is an absolute bargain. So come and join us. And there's also the Travel Lodge very close by. If you want any details, hit me up. I'm happy to help you out, but let's make the awards absolutely amazing this year. Tickets are on sale, £60. We've got a much better meal. You get a choice of meal. If you've got dietary requirements, we can actually cater for them as well. And yeah, disco, dancing, awards. Yeah, we're going to give stuff away as well on the night as well. So please come and join us. In the meantime, let's get on with today's podcast. I've got a real life mermaid. Yes, I have got a real life mermaid. Let's take it away. Miss Oceania 2023. Welcome to the UKOCR podcast. Laura Hudson, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful. It's a Wednesday night. Most people know I record on Wednesday, Thursday, so I'm not giving nothing away there. It's a Wednesday night, midweek, for me in the day job. But I mean, what is it for you? Is it midweek for you on a Wednesday? Because you're not a day job like we do.
It's the end of the year. I don't really have days off. I kind of roll from one job to the next and then into another one. So I have no concept of what day it is usually.
Oh, wow. I was looking through some of your jobs the day, and there was one that stood out for me, because we know you won Miss Ocean World, and we'll talk about it in a second, but you are actually a mermaid by day, as in you swim.
Yeah, so I am a PADI mermaid and freedive instructor. So I actually get to teach people as well. I was actually teaching, what day was it? Saturday. I was actually teaching 4 mermaids in the pool, and I also get to perform. So I am a professional mermaid. It is a real job, and it's one of my favourite jobs. And I get to basically go to parties and events and festivals, and I get paid to be a mermaid and perform and entertain for everybody. So that is definitely my favourite job. And obviously the Miss Ocean World title definitely suits me.
How do you get a job as a mermaid? I mean, that's like, I just don't get it. I mean, it's like, it's not something I see, and I actually find people jobs, but I've never seen it actually advertised on Indeed.com or on LinkedIn. Mermaid required, apply here.
I know, purely random, because everyone always asks anyway. I actually dyed my hair green many years ago, and everyone was like, "Oh, you look like a mermaid," because I got long hair. And then there was this advert coming out for mermaid camp, and someone commented on it on Facebook and said, "Ha ha ha, you should totally do this." And I went, "Okay." Uh, so I asked for more information. I found out what mermaid camp actually was, saved my money, went in 2018, and it was life-changing. It has changed my life. I learned how to free dive. I learned how to be a mermaid. Um, Literally thrown right in at the deep end. I had no idea what to expect. And it turns out I'm actually quite good at holding my breath. So I very quickly just took to it like a duck to water. And a few months later, I finished my freedive qualification. A couple of months later, I actually won Miss Mermaid UK back in 2018. And then about a month after that, I actually did my very first aquarium show as well. So it all happened in about 5 months of going to mermaid camp. And now I'm the instructor at mermaid camp. So I have come full circle, and now I get to inspire the next generation of merfolk and get to teach and get to, support them on their own mermaid journeys as well. So totally random, but it's kind of one of those moments where I was like, this is meant to be. Like, I've actually found something that I'm really good at and I love it. So yeah, can't
Wow.
complain.
So when you went to mermaid camp, you'd not done any breathing exercises, you'd not held your breath for long periods of time.
No, so I can't, I was trying to think back. Everyone's like, have you ever done anything like this before? I was like, well, I'm pretty sure as a kid I would walk around the house just holding my breath randomly because kids do weird things.
Yeah.
But I had done in 2017, I actually got chosen to do like an underwater photo shoot for a university project. And that was literally it. I had no training. It was training on the day. The guy at the tank told us what to do, how best to do it, just to get the shots and the videos and the photos that they wanted. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. I'm holding my breath for like 30, 40 seconds. I thought it was the best thing ever. And then I kind of went to mermaid camp and realized I was better than that. And I actually held my breath for 4 minutes.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. So like with zero training to 4 minutes is
Yeah. So, I mean, when I say like no training, so no actual free dive training before that, but what the instructor actually said was that everything I had done, like leading up to that point, so all the tough mudders that I've done
yeah.
actually helped me because it's built my body up, it's helped with my cardio, helped with my lung capacity, and it has enabled me as well with like sort of yoga, being able to clear my mind. It was literally like everything was leading up to this point, and it just, yeah, it was literally, I am a natural breath holder. And now I think I'm probably getting on for the 5 minute mark. So yeah.
Oh wow. Wow, that's amazing. I don't think I could even do a minute. I was one of these kids at school, and we used to do swimming lessons at the school I went to, local baths, about a mile walk it was, and you'd do swimming lessons. And at the end, like you could do what you wanted. It were always like the lads were always, let's see who can swim the furthest with the, holding the breath. I was always the first one to pop up. I was like, no, I'm not doing none of this malarkey. I'm not drowning. I'm going to live a little bit longer than this. And there was one kid at school, I always remember, who did the full length of the swimming pool. And I was so jealous. I
Yeah.
think I could do a breadth of it, but I could never do anywhere near a length. And I was so jealous. He swam the full length.
Well, you should come and have a free dive lesson with me. I'm sure I could get you a pool length in.
So, yeah, I don't know. I probably can't even I can't swim that far. I couldn't swim that far though when I was a kid either. So that was probably the reason why I didn't try and go that far. But when you're actually swimming in these like tanks and that, now I know you've done one in Manchester because I've seen the pictures of one in Manchester. Where else have you done them?
Oh my goodness. I went all over the country back in 2019. So we did Manchester, I went to Scarborough, I went to Great Yarmouth, Hunstanton, Bear Grylls Adventure down in Birmingham, my local, which is Skegness Aquarium, and Blackpool as well. So very well travelled mermaid. I didn't
Yes.
swim to the location. But yeah, very well travelled mermaid and been all over the place. And my most recent aquarium adventure was actually in China for a competition. So
Oh
that was
wow.
fun.
What? And were you? And let's go China then first. Were you swimming with fish?
Uh, Fish, sharks,
Yes.
rays, yeah. The sharks, do you know what? They're absolutely fine. They're more scared of you than you should be scared of them because you're bigger than them, or at
Yep.
least the ones in the tank are bigger than them. Um, and they tend to just leave you alone. I think the only kind of encounters I've had with sharks, sort of up close and personal, were a white-tipped shark. They're just very curious. They won't do any harm. They just want to come and check you out. And then I've actually had them literally coming towards me, and I've just lifted my arm up in the show, and they've just swam right underneath. You go, oh, see ya.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and then there was a zebra shark in Skegness called Nudge, and he got his name because he does actually nudge. So he used to nudge all of the snorkelers and scuba divers that were in there, and then obviously being a mermaid in there, came and nudged me a few times. So he's just, this is his territory, so you just have to respect him and leave him to his space when he needs his space. But yeah, you're diving mid-show and you've got this shark swimming around you.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Now I'm going to say it's got to be saltwater because there's sharks, but you
Yeah.
don't wear goggles. How does that affect your eyes? Because your eyes are open, and I've been
Yeah.
thinking this because me and Ian we've been talking about this, and we're saying like we see you are doing it on the videos now. I'm thinking there's no goggles, and you're in
Nope.
salt water, and how does that affect you?
Because I'm a real mermaid.
Best
Um,
answer ever. Leave it to
so no, so for all the adults, obviously I'm not a
yeah.
real mermaid because that would be the one thing that everyone goes, she's crazy. I know I'm not a real mermaid, but if there are any kids, I am a real mermaid. Um, but it's better than swimming in chlorine because chlorine is just horrendous, absolutely plays havoc with your eyesight. You can go and do an hour's party and then be sat in the car trying to drive home. And you're like, yeah, I need to pull over because I can't actually see the road because it just
Wow.
stings so much. Whereas the salt water is fine. It's like it's bliss. I love it. But then afterwards, the more disgusting side of the job, it's all lovely and graceful. And then we'll be in the shower with saline solution, literally sniffing it through the nostrils and chucking it in the ear and the eye. And you literally have to saline rinse everything because obviously we are swimming in shark poo and
Yeah.
turtle poo.
Yeah.
It's not nice. So we have to obviously cut out the risk of infection to us. I have actually gone half deaf after an aquarium show because I actually dived when I shouldn't. I actually had a bit of a cold, and you should
Right.
never dive with cold or congestion. And I thought it's just a little sniffle. And I learnt my lesson. I ended up going half deaf because I got a bit of an ear infection from that. So um, it's funny when you're trying to explain to the doctors that you need antibiotics because you're at risk of zoonotic disease, and the doctors are the ones asking you, what is zoonotic disease? And you're having to describe. So yeah, it's quite funny, but yeah, an interesting life.
Wow. I mean, it must be amazing. I mean, I've done diving in the Red Sea and with fish, and it's absolutely amazing. They're doing it for a living. That's absolutely fantastic. What's the most surreal experience you've had? Is it when the shark nudged you, or has there been something more while you've been diving in the tanks?
It was Probably my very first show, and I just got in and I did the first show, and we kind of do like three or four in a day. And I think it was about the second show, and I kind of went to the window, and it just hit me like the reality of the fact that I was in a tank with sharks, dressed as a mermaid, and I was waving it. I was like, oh yeah, I need to wave at people. Hang on, I've got a job to do. And it just, for a split second, I just kind of reality check
Yeah.
of where I was. And then I went, oh yeah, keep waving, you know. So that was probably the weirdest moment. And then ever since then I've just got in. Yeah, it's been unreal.
And obviously, being a real mermaid, when you get out of the water, your tail goes and the legs are formed, and miraculously and magically. And I bet it must be amazing with the kids coming up to you and wanting to talk to you and things like that.
The beauty of doing an actual aquarium show is that they don't see that bit, so you
Right.
can get out quick, run, hide, get warm because it's cold. It gets more complicated when you are in, like, if we've done like photo shoots in a public location and there are kids around, you're like, I don't want them to see me. And a lot of the festivals that we do, we're very careful about protecting the magic
Yeah.
because we don't want to ruin it. You know, for them, we are real life mermaids. So any opportunity to try and protect the magic, it's like hiding under towels and dressing gowns and tough mudder dry robes, uh, comes in very handy with my job. So anything like that, you're just desperate just to try and hide so you can sneak away. Sometimes doesn't happen. Uh, sneaking away takes a couple of hours because they all want to come and talk to you or they want to have a picture with you, which is absolutely fine. And as long as I'm warm and comfortable, I am quite happy to oblige to that as well. So yeah, it's good fun. But the kids are just, we don't get to see their reaction when we're in water. So we're just waving and hoping that they're having a great time. And then it's when you see the videos back later, you go, oh, yes, you get the reaction that you wanted.
Can you not see outside the glass then? Is it like a mirror to you? Is it a mirror effect or
It's very thick glass. So
right?
it's probably, what's that, about 10,
Six,
15 centimeters thick, something like
yeah.
that, 6 inches wide. It's very thick glass. So it's bizarre because most people can't see anything. Um, Everyone says that I am basically a fish because I can see shapes. And there was one particular show we did at Halloween, and they were kind of talking about my safety diver and saying, oh, there's a little girl down there that she's like, she's so excited to see you. And they went, oh, the little girl down there in the navy duffel coat with the fur trim and the pink ear defenders. And they were like, how can you see? And I went, I can just see shape and colour.
Right.
You can't quite pick out the faces, but I can see a blur. And then if they put their hands on the window, I mean, that's gold. That's they're there. I'm going to
Right.
put my hands on your hands. And it's going to be a beautiful moment. But most people can't see anything. I kind of see more than most, I think,
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
just weird.
Oh, that's crazy. Have you ever tried free diving professionally or like in the sea? I love watching things like this on Euro Trash and all of that. When they're watching it on, it used to be Channel 4. I think it used to be on every Sunday morning, and they do crazy things. And have you ever tried the free diving there? See how far you can go?
So for my freediving qualifications and for to then be an instructor, I had to do certain levels of freediving, and I you have to do that in the open water as well. So most of my open water has been in confined lakes and quarries that they've turned into dive sites. My last qualification that I did before I became an instructor was out in the open sea, down in Cornwall, week after a storm, really bad weather, really bad visibility, pretty chilly, a bit choppy. And
Yeah.
I did manage to do 31 meters down and up, which on the grand scheme of things in free diving, when you look at the competitions, they're doing over 100 meters. See, my 30 is a little bit,
It's more than
but
my three.
yeah, but then for some people, obviously people that I know, that's a dream. So really kind of it's a really hard thing for me to kind of stand back and actually go, oh yeah, I did that, and I did 31 meters, and someone I know struggling for 5 years to even get to 20 meters.
Mm.
Everyone's on a very different level, and it's that mind over matter. And I just kind of crack on. In I go. I'm not sure I fancy doing anything too deep. I have watched when I first went to mermaid camp. We watched some of the competition free diving. I was like, it terrifies me. The fact that they're going down into this dark space, absolutely terrifying. I was like, nah, it's not for me. And then here I am.
Oh wow.
Maybe,
Yeah.
at some point get to something a bit more than that. But then it's just for me, it's finding the time to actually do any kind of training because I'm so busy. But it'd be nice to do a bit more and just to see, where I could go next with it. So
It's a different type of swimming to what you do when you're on the surface. You're underground. You're using your legs much more. I guess you have to be taught that. But my question is more about the tail that you're using. Is the fin like you see swim finners use, or is it just for show, or does it actually help you swim while you're underwater? So the one that you're doing in the shows type of thing.
oh, I love my fin. So it's
It's
so
part
funny
of
because
you. You've got to love it.
it's
It's
part
part
of
of
me.
you.
Exactly. It's just an extension of me. I took it on holiday as well. Everywhere I go, it's the first thing that gets packed in the suitcase. I quite happily just go on holiday just with that and I'm sorted. Um, but it's bizarre because every mermaid I know, we take the fin off and then we're like swimming to the side and we're going nowhere because we're so used to swimming in a monofin. And then
Yeah.
it just feels really alien to try and get over to the side. You think legs are rubbish; they don't work. So yeah, love my monofin, and I've just got a new one this year, and it's all rainbow coloured. So it's absolutely beautiful. It seems a shame to hide it in a tail. One of many tails. I've got about nine. Whoops. That's the problem with being a
Obsession with
mermaid.
tails.
I mean, I need, you have a mermaid wardrobe, and I have about nine tails, all with a matching top and headdresses. So, yeah.
Crazy. When you go abroad, you say you take it abroad and holiday with you and that. Do you ever like? I'd be playing practical jokes. I would be out in the sea if I could pretend to be a mermaid. I'd be out in the sea and I'd be swimming me 20 meters and just popping up in the middle of like nothing. And is this you? I can imagine it's going to be you.
Yeah, yeah. Basically anything to cause a scene. So whether it's in the pool or whether it's in the sea, and I'll just be like, just going out there, and you just do like a little handstand and give the little fin a little wave, and everyone's going, oh my God, what's over there? Oh yeah, it's just me. So yeah, it causes a bit of a fuss. And it's hilarious because obviously taking it to different countries as well, people are looking and they just don't really know what's going on.
Oh wow, wow. So when you won Miss Mermaid 2017, you say Miss Mermaid
2018 was Miss Mermaid.
2018, was that a stepping stone to Miss Ocean World?
So they're two very different ones, two very different pageants. So Miss Mermaid UK was about mermaid swimming, and we had to do underwater photo shoots. Miss Ocean World is just purely a pageant, but it has the tagline of advocacy for a pollution-free ocean. So quite a lot for us at the international. We actually had to stand up and have a speech, an advocacy speech, which I was very proud of, and I still remember it, which I love.
Tell no, Prano, you tell us. You can tell us. No, we want to be in it. Come on, let's hear it
Oh,
now.
now you're going to put me under pressure.
Drum roll.
Oh, right. Really? Do you want me to say it?
Yeah. You can choose some parts, but you don't have to give it all. If you want to choose one or two parts, you can choose one or two. Your choice.
How did it start? I said it to myself the other day as well, and I was like, oh, I can't believe I remembered it from 2 months ago. Um, I don't even remember how you put me under pressure now. I don't remember how it
If you
starts.
remember it, they'll come back to it.
We'll come back to it. Let me have a think about it. I do remember it. It's in there somewhere. It's stashed away. It's under all the seawater at the minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, Miss Mermaid was my first pageant. So I had no idea what to expect. I didn't even know pageants still existed. I thought it was a an American thing, and I love Miss Congeniality as a film, and I thought, oh, it's just an American thing. And then when I found out it was over here, and having gone to Mermaid Camp, and the organizer was like, "Please enter Miss Mermaid UK," um, I loved it. It was just so nice to get glammed up and to do something that I enjoyed and to meet new friends. Um, so winning that, I actually got the chance to go to Egypt for the international. Placed in the top 10, swam the furthest distance, and had an amazing 2 weeks. It was really good fun. Um, Obviously wanted to bring the title home, didn't, got upset, and I was like, no, why am I being upset? I've got, other
Yeah.
things to do. I'm still Mermaid UK for the rest of the year, and I'm just gonna enjoy what I do. That's when I did all of the aquarium shows. Um, and then it led on to Miss Ocean World came about in 2020 during the pandemic, and just pageant organizer in India decided to run this competition virtually. And it was a great way of setting up a new competition without the stress of people coming abroad and all the hassle of that. So um, this year was the first year it's gone ahead as an actual live competition since 2020. And I've been waiting 3 years for it to go ahead. I mean, I was top five. I came third runner up back in 2020, won the title of Europe, won the talented round as well. So I've had that, and I was like, I just want to go and do it. And I'm not giving up on my dream. I'm not going to enter any other competitions because that's unfinished business for me. So yeah, headed off to India, and 3 years, well worth the wait.
Wow. What? So you had to do a speech. Was it like? Is it like I mean, I've never been to a pageant. I'm going to be straight up and say I've never been to a Miss World pageant or Miss UK or anything pageant. So, and I'm pretty certain a lot of the listeners haven't either. So, you've told us about a speech. What else did we have to do?
So we had, even on the first day, we had to do photo shoots straight away, get dressed up. We're going to do photo shoots. Right, okay. So straight off, we're getting judged from the very beginning. We're going to do videos, right? Okay. And we had a swimwear round, we had evening gown round, which in the heat of the Indian sun was very hot, doing all the photos and the videos, and lots of fanning and makeup touch ups. We all look very shiny in our photos. And then we also had a lovely day out. They did treat us to a nice day out around Jaipur and an evening out as well, which was really good fun. Um, and then all of the rehearsals that we had to do, we were constantly rehearsing. We had so many different routines to do while we were on stage, because we also had the talent round, which obviously showcased my mermaid talent. I had a video prepared, which they were going to display on the video behind. And then they said, are you going to be sat on stage in your mermaid costume at the same time? And I went, okay, it's a 3 minute video. Sure. So I was sat there kind of wafting my arms about for 3 minutes, trying to just avert everyone's attention towards the video, because that's where the magic was happening. We had national costume round, which is my absolute favourite, because it's a chance for everybody to showcase their history, their culture, where they're from. That was my favourite.
What did you wear for that?
So I actually made it when I did Miss Mermaid International. So I'm reusing stuff because,
Recycling.
save the planet and all of that.
Yeah.
So I reused my costume, which was a replica of the Queen's coronation dress and velvet robe of state, little mini crown, scepter. Kind of adapted it. So it's got, when I take the robe off, it has the Union Jack colours underneath as a train. And it's also got, instead of all of the floral emblems of all the Commonwealth countries, I've got the ocean creatures that have been embroidered on it. So for me it was quite poignant, obviously, because we've lost Queen Elizabeth. So for me it was like probably the last time I may get a chance to wear it. I don't know. It just felt a bit more special this time because she's no longer with us. And I thought, this is my tribute to her, because she was just such an inspirational person to so many around the world. So yeah, it was lovely to do that again.
Oh, that's so amazing. I love the idea though, you put in, instead of the flowers having the ocean creature done, because Miss Ocean World and Miss Mermaid is absolutely fantastic. And so out of all of these, you were judging everything right from, like, is it points out of 10? Is it, and you know where you stand as you're going along?
Yeah, I don't really know how they score it. I don't think they wanted to reveal anything to us
Right.
at the beginning. Most pageants don't. They just kind of, do it in secret.
Well, you see, I've
But
got
then we
visions of
have,
like people up on a board holding like tens up and nines and,
oh, we do. So like during the week, it's all very, you think, right, I am getting judged in some
yeah.
way, surely. But then on like finals night and when we did the talent show and national costume night, we had a panel of judges. So we had people that were there from the hotel itself. We had the director. We had, I think there was someone there from a pageant magazine that was judging as well. So lots of different people that had all come together, and you're very aware that they're sat there. You just got to keep smiling at them.
Oh, amazing. So, and did the when there was given the prize out, when there was announcing the winner, did they go 3, 2, 1? Is it very much like a Miss Congeniality and you don't know who's going to get first until?
I mean, so we had, it was a long time that I was on stage for, because we all came back on stage, we'd done all the rounds, we all came back on stage and they were doing subtitle awards. And I was the first one to be called. I won best in swimwear. I was like, amazing.
Yeah.
So that was great. It was nice because we all won a subtitle. They gave every single contestant a specific subtitle. And then they announced the top 5. And we had to stay on stage. So I was the first one because I was number 1 in the lineup.
Yeah.
No pressure, because I had to, every routine that we did, I was the first one out. I had to go out at the right point and I had to lead people around the stage. I thought, if I go wrong, we all go wrong. So they called my name first, took a step forward, and then I think we had to stay on stage because then we had a live on stage Q&A round, and we had to pick a question out of a fishbowl and answer it live on stage. And we had obviously no prep for that at all. And I think mine was something about being a role model or an inspiration. And I mean, it, like the pressure of that, I've forgotten it already, because it was, in that moment you think, what do I say? And then you're kind of worried because you think, have I talked too long? Have I said enough? Have I said not enough? So yeah, that was fun. So we were still stood on stage for that. And then we were stood on stage for the announcement of runners up, and it just kept creeping up. So they gave everyone, next runner up, next runner up, next runner up. And it was the moment that they called the second runner up. And I was stood there with my friend. I was actually stood there hand in hand with my friend from Bulgaria, who I met at a previous mermaid camp when I was a mentor. And she'd been inspired by me doing Miss Ocean World before. And I said, why don't you come along and represent Bulgaria? So she did. And it was just me and her in the top 2. And I just looked at her and I was like, what's going on?
Oh, wow.
And she was doing the same thing. And it was so lovely because she actually said, I wanted first runner up. She said, I didn't want to win. That was always yours. Like you deserve to win. You've put everything into this. So it was, but it was just lovely to share that moment with her, and we were just holding hands. And I was, when it was announced, I mean, the video reaction of me was like, yeah, classic. classic emotional pageant winner.
Yeah.
Down on my knees. I cried for about 10 minutes. I was shaking because then I had to let her have her moment. She got sashed and crowned and had the trophy and the flowers and all the photos. And I stood at the side of the stage like inconsolable. I didn't know. I was like, ah, but I'm still in front of all the cameras and all the people. And I'm like, do I look ugly while I'm crying?
Oh,
Am I
wow.
okay? So I'm trying to hold it together. But, my dreams had literally just come true. So it was just a moment I will never forget. I hope I will never forget it anyway, because it just meant so much. So yeah, very emotional.
Oh, amazing. And where does that leave you then? So do you have 12 months of duties to fill for Miss Ocean World? And if so, what are some of these duties? Do you have to go and swim with great whites in South Africa or?
I mean, if somebody wants to send me there, that would be lovely. So yeah, I have the title for a year, and I will then go back wherever they're holding the international next year. I will go back. I will be part of the team to help support the next bunch of contestants, and then I will obviously help with the show and handing over the title. I get to keep my crown because it's my crown, but I obviously hand over a new crown to a new queen. I am also taking on the responsibility of being the UK National Director, as if I didn't have enough to do, which I am doing completely off my own back. So I'm not being paid to do it. It's my choice to do it. So I am organising the UK competition to find another queen to take out with me. I am also opening up the competition to other age categories that don't have the internationals to go to, but it still gives people an opportunity to um, campaign for a pollution-free ocean, raise money for ocean charities, and just to have fun. That's the whole point of it as well, is just to have fun, meet other people, and just become part of this lovely little family as well. And then anything that people want me to attend, whether it's judging duties, whether it's events, appearances, um, competitions, workshops. I'd love to go into schools and talk to them about recycling and do little craft workshops with them. I think that would be lovely. Anything that people want me for, please help me fill my calendar up because I want to be busy. I want to wear the crown every day if I can. Um, I had my first appearance the other week when I came home because I've been so busy again. I came home and it was straight back to work. But my first appearance the other week, I went and helped at the bingo. I loved it. I had great fun. Everyone was like, "What are you going to the bingo for?" I was like, "Because it's a community event. We were raising money for our flower parade next year." And for me, that's like, yeah, I'm there. I've been volunteering for the flower parade for the last year. So for me, it's personally, it means a lot to other people. They'll be like, "Why would you go to the bingo?" But it means a lot. We're raising money. We had a great night. We had a great laugh. There's me running around with the massive crown on my head, running around giving people their prizes and helping with the auction and the raffle. And I loved it. It was great fun. So anything like that, I'm there.
Not only did you love it, but I bet everyone who was there actually loved it because it would be something that's completely and utterly different to what they're used to on a normal night of a normal bingo night.
I,
So yeah.
I was definitely the sparkliest dressed there. So they actually pitched it, the organizer pitched it as a guest celebrity appearance. I thought I finally made it to celebrity status. There you go.
Well, just keep your expectations. This is not celebrity, this podcast, by
I truly believe it is. If people have said my name, I'm thinking, how do they know me?
I know where I'm going to go next, but I just can't stop laughing anymore. You're not adverse to a little bit of dressing up, though, because I've seen your fifth Tough Mudder, a chicken. Of all the things you could choose, you get dressed up as a chicken.
Yeah, why not? I I found this onesie and I was like, I was raising money for charity at that point, and it was for I think that was when I went cycling. I did a cycle challenge across Vietnam and Cambodia, and I was like, how else can I raise money? I know, I'll dress up as a chicken for Tough Mudder. And the thing that I remember most from that day, apart from walking around clapping a lot to my friends, um, was when I got to Everest and my parents decided to come that day as well. And they said it was just so funny because the guy who was emceeing on Everest was like, here's something you don't see every day. We got a chicken who's about to tackle Everest. And I ran and he was like, and the chicken flies. And grabbed everyone at the top and it was so funny. I was like, just pull me up because I can't stop laughing. It was funny. It
Oh,
put a smile on everyone's face. So
I can imagine. Where was your first Tough Mudder? Well, first of all, was Tough Mudder your first obstacle course race?
Yes, very first, and I've kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
I did my very first one in Yorkshire in 2014, and I had food poisoning the week before. So I actually thought I was going to die. It was we set off, and I think that was when Arctic Enema was just a skip with stairs up into it and stairs out of it. So nothing glamorous. And my friend was like, please go in with me. Right, okay, yeah, sure. So we got in and we got out and then we ran around the field and we got into the forest and I thought, I'm actually gonna die. I think we were about 2 or 3 miles in. I thought, I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm actually gonna have to give up. But because I was with my friends, we were all doing our first Tough Mudder together, and I was raising money for charity. I was just spurred on just to get through it. I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to get through it. Regret it the next day. And yeah, and then I just clearly didn't put me off. I kept coming back for more.
I mean, how many are you up to now? I mean, I've got down here. You've done over 40, but I'm going to guess you've done more because the ones I counted, I got them from 2016 onwards. So I didn't know you'd done one in 2014. So how many have we done in total?
I double checked this because I was like, what number am I on? I'm on 46.
Right, okay.
So
That
I
makes
am on
sense. I missed a
46.
few. I missed a few.
Yeah.
Out of the 46, which has been your most memorable?
Oh my God. Um, I mean, can I have? I've got a top three.
Yeah, let's have a top three. Let's go in reverse order like they do a pageant. Let's go
I
the
I
runner up
know,
and the
yeah.
runner up and the
So
winner again.
I do love my first one. Without my first one, I wouldn't be here. And raising, I think I was about £500, I think, for charity. That meant so much at the time. Just to get the name, the PSP Association out there meant everything to me. So that I did in memory of my granddad. So I was, that will always have a special part for me. Um, I think even my 10th was pretty special because I was getting another headband and it was like, oh, I've got the 10. And I cried. And then I instantly left my team at the finish line. I went, I've got to go because I had another team at the start line ready to do number 11 straight away.
Oh, wow. Where was that at?
That was Midlands.
Oh.
So that was stupid. And that was my first stupid thing that I did with Tough Mudder, I think. And that's it. Like at the time, that seemed completely crazy, and now it's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do two in one weekend, and all that stuff. And then this year, with our lovely B and our adaptive athlete team, that for me will just go down in history for me with my Tough Mudders because I'd not planned to even help out. I was there for the Pride Wave and I was all dressed up, bright rainbow unicorn onesie, and I was ready to go off with the Pride Wave. And we had the countdown. And I just looked across and I looked at them and I was like, do you guys need help?
Yeah.
And someone said to me, well, the more the merrier. And I went, okay. Everyone set off and I headed that way with them. And that was the best decision I made that day, was just to help people that I never even met. It was so much fun. I mean, it like we were halfway around the course and I sort of looked at the time and I thought, yeah, I could have been home by now with a McDonald's. but this is better. Like, this is epic. And it didn't feel like as long as it did. It just felt like a couple of hours of fun
Yeah.
and actually getting to know people that I've seen on course and I've seen that are other ambassadors, but I've never really had the chance to speak to them. And we're now friends. And I've blessed B, she's asked me to be her mother sister. And I'm going to be part of her team again next year and in the years to come, which means the absolute world. For her to be able to say, "I trust you," I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
That's an honor. And just getting over Mudderhorn was it's that in itself. Just Mudderhorn. Just we could have done nothing else all day just to do Mudderhorn with an adaptive athlete, getting them up and over the top. Um, that was really emotional because we had a call out put through to the village. If anyone else is still here that can come and help, we're gonna get the team up and over the top of Mudderhorn. And I just remember seeing everybody coming round to help us. I thought, oh my God. And then I remember going up and over the top and I was there. And then I looked down, I've got the army below me. And I was like, hiya. And I'm just there in a rainbow unicorn onesie. And I thought, oh, yeah, beautiful moment. What a thing to be dressed as when you've got the army right below you.
Yeah.
Oh well, someone's got to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it was an amazing event. You know, I'm gutted I wasn't there to see it all, but I had heard the story that you was going off in the Pride Wave, and then you decided, for sake of the Pride Wave, I'm going to wait for 2 more waves and then go out with Team B and do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, and I guess as well, you made a lot of friends. I mean, you're already in the Tough Mudder ambassador community, but that day you made a lot of friends, and a lot of them people have spoke to me about you and spoke really highly about you and that. So, and I'm not trying to make you blush. I can see people can't see this, but yeah, Tough Mudder ambassador. How did that come about though? Because that was 2017. Is my maths right?
I think so. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was. I think it was when it first came about. I think it might have been its second year. It was a thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll give it a go. I've done a few Tough Mudders, and I'm enjoying it. And I thought I was great because like the first year I did one, second year I did two. I thought, wow, this is amazing. Next year I was like, I did four. And you feel you feel amazing. You're like, yeah, I could be an ambassador. And then suddenly, I'm on to like, oh, I was doing 10 a year, kind of, just pack it in. And because I'd found something that I loved, it was my weekends. If I'm not working, that's my day off. And how did you spend your day off? Well, I got muddy and went for a little swim and a jog in the park. What did you do? um, and then I just decided, give it a go, apply. You never know. It might happen, it might not. And completely shocked, obviously, when it came through and they said, you're an ambassador. I was like, okay, better get to work then.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's always hard to get people to join Tough Mudder. I find it very difficult because all the friends that I've run Tough Mudder with are like, yeah, I've done one. That's enough. And they've all kind of flaked off a little bit. And so I'm trying to find new people to bring in and enjoy the experience. But then actually you see the same faces out on course and it is this little community because you're seeing the same people. Oh, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? And then to then keep being given the honour of being an ambassador again, I think it's got to have something to do with the mermaid tail because in my application videos, obviously after 2018, I was like, yeah, do you want a real mermaid as an ambassador? Then choose me. So it became a bit of a joke when I did my videos. I was always dressed in my mermaid tail. Um, it has yet to make it to a course. I have said that I think it should be at a course, even if it's just for a photo. Um, but it just seems bizarre, and I'm like, why do they keep choosing me?
I
And
think it's
actually,
got
I
to be, of
feel
course. The best picture would be you in Arctic Enemy with the mermaids. That's got to be one of the best pictures ever.
I've suggested it in every video every year. but it needs to be done. Obviously, before anyone gets in it and it gets muddy would be nice, because I don't want a muddy tail to take home. But yeah, I think that would be the perfect photo opportunity. And then actually, the last few years, I only recently started volunteering. And oh my God, so much fun. Like, it's been brilliant. And actually seeing a whole other side of Tough Mudder, being part of the event, actually helping run the event, without volunteers, it just wouldn't happen. You wouldn't have people out there cheering people on, handing out the headbands, even having that organization in bag drop, something as simple as that. So for me now, I feel more like I am making my mark as an ambassador, because I am doing more. I don't have to do 20 Tough Mudders if I don't want to. Actually being visible and being a person who is doing things like helping out on course, or looking across and going, oh, I've got a wheelchair here, just going to help out. Those moments for me often mean more than it does with the amount of runs that I've done. So yeah, I'm like really proud to be an ambassador. Definitely wear that bib as a badge of honor.
I know you teach dance. Is it Dragonfly dance?
Yes.
Do you get many of your dance students like looking at you and thinking, I want to be a Tough Mudder?
Funny you should say that. I've just had a handful of them sign up for next year. I am buzzing. Like, I think it was like the last weekend our ambassador codes were going to work. And I was like, guys, you're going to do it now. Like, sign up. The closest one to us is Midlands. It's a beautiful course. It's one of my favorites. We're going to have fun. And they were like, yeah, okay. Oh, you're actually serious. So they all went home, they went, what's your code? And they have booked. So I've actually got a few of them were maybe more sensible and signed up to the 3 to 5 mile course. One of the girls didn't know what was going on and signed up to the 10+ mile course. So I said, you can still do it, but I'm going to go out with the 3 to 5 milers. As soon as we get back, I'm going out with you. So I will have a great day.
Yeah. What do you think to this new 3 to 5 and 10 mile? Is it something you're an advocate of, or?
Yeah, so when the announcement came that they were going to scrap it and it was going back to one, I was kind of like, it's a bit of a shame, because there are so many people out there who I've spoken to that would like to do it, but it's the thought of that 10+ miles. It can be very off-putting, it can be very daunting, and that can be someone's decision to just go, no, I can't do it. And maybe it's, they can't afford it either. I think that's what a lot of people think, it's a long way to travel to an event for some people. You've got to maybe think about childcare for the day if you've got kids, food while you're there, pay for it. It gets very expensive. So if you can do a maybe slightly cheaper and a shorter course and just have a bit of a taster, something is more achievable to so many people. It brings people into Tough Mudder, and then maybe the following year they go, well, I really enjoyed that, I'm going to do 10+ miles and really push myself. So I love it. I think it's such a great idea. And when they first brought in a half course way back when, I was like, this is great, because more people are more likely to actually sign up to it and go, yeah, I'm going to give it a go, because it's less daunting. It's, to someone just off the street, you can say, do you want to do a Tough Mudder if it's 3 miles? Yeah, okay, I'll give it a go. So yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I agree. It's stepping stone for them. I love the idea. Out of all the years you've been doing, so 2014. So you started not very close to me. I'm 2 years earlier than you when I did my first OCR. What has been your best Tough Mudder obstacle in all that time you've been doing them?
Loch Ness Monster.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
For what reason?
Do you know what? As soon as it came on course, I can't even remember what year it was, but it was a few years in, and as soon as I did it for the first time, I just came out and I was just grinning from ear to ear. I could not get over how much fun it was. And it's water, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then also
Did you not just swim underneath it?
I know do you know what? I thought about that and I was like, can I swim underneath? I was like, no, I'll get in trouble. But for me, because it's such a good one, because you do need team. You do need a team to be able to do it. And it's so much fun. If you get it right, it's so much fun, and you can help so many people at the top. It's the only one that I really get bruised from, because I'll just spend forever on there if I can. And I love it every time, hands down. Has been my favorite.
It's one of mine. I've got to admit, it's one of mine. I just wish they would bring King of the Swingers back, the original one that was quite big, and yeah, that is mine. I'll tell it all on. But yeah, I love that one. I did Yorkshire, and I went round 5 times on it.
Oh,
I just kept going round.
God.
Sam Gascoigne, I think, was volunteering, and she kept going, yeah, have another go. Go on. I was like, yes, give me that.
You know, for me, I know I couldn't think of anything worse. I hated it. Because I'm too short to be able to reach. I've actually realized that I'm not very good at jumping. Like, right. I watch people, it's not even jumping, it's leaping. I can't leap. I'm no good at it. And going on like Ninja Warrior and stuff has proven to me that I cannot leap to save my life. So for me, I hated it so much.
You have my notes in front of you, by the way. Look, Ninja Warrior is the next thing on my list here.
Like I'm psychic.
It is. I wanted to touch on Ninja Warrior, because I know you've been on Ninja Warrior. What was the other one you wasn't? Was it
The Void?
The Void, that was it.
Yeah.
But Ninja Warrior, you got dressed up as Jet.
Yeah.
What was that about?
So, I mean, yeah. Why not? Again, I love fancy dress. So, yeah, love fancy dress. And Jet from Gladiators is 100% the reason I am the woman that I am today, because I realised growing up, I was like, they always ask you at primary school, who's your role model? And everyone's like, my mum, a nan. And I was like, oh, I don't have a role model. Or they're like, oh, Britney Spears, No, I don't have a role model. And then actually growing up, I was like, yeah, I do. It's Jet. Jet was amazing, because she showed us from a very young age how badass women could be, and how strong you could be, how competitive you could be, but also how humble and gracious you could be, either in winning or losing. And she was she was everything. I know she was like, every male's fantasy kind of thing, but for a young impressionable girl, I was like, oh, she is so cool. Like, she's amazing. I want to be a gladiator when I grow up. And then actually doing my first Tough Mudder when when we just had monkey rings over water. And I did it, and I got to the other end, and I said to my friend, I was like, I feel like Jet from Gladiators. And she went, me too. And we were both we had that moment, because all the boys had like fallen in and we'd made it. And I was like, yes, this is down to Gladiators. So for me, like doing Tough Mudder, I'm like, I'm just going to channel Jet, So to go on the show, I actually said to them, they were like, would you dress up in fancy dress? I was like, well, I've got my Jet costume from, I think, did I go to it I might have even taken it in my audition, I can't remember. But I said, I would dress up as Jet. They actually said the costume was too good. So it was a costume that I made with my fashion degree. That they said, we don't want to get any potential copyright issues. So can you make your own version of a gladiator costume that's inspired by it? So I had to make my own. It said Twinkle on the front, and had to make like a replica of the gladiator costume, just so we didn't get into trouble.
How can you run so good? That's like crazy. What's harder? Because you got to the walk wall, didn't you? You got to the walk wall.
Yeah, so first year that I went on, got to the wall, which like at the end of every obstacle, I just remember looking to the audience and going, "Oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm not wet. I made it." And then getting to the wall, it was so hard because you kind of don't realize just how tall it is until you get there and you have no run up. Like there is nothing. You've just got to go for it. Um, and you get a few attempts and you're just so tired because it's a long day as well. Um, I had to drive there, so it was, a couple of hours drive, long day. You sat around, depending on the running order of the show when they're filming it. I kind of went towards the end. So fatigue starts setting in, and it was just that moment of going, I'm just exhausted. And it was so far out of reach as well. Yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame, but my particular episode, we actually had 11 people actually got up the warped wall. So one poor lad, unfortunately, didn't make it through to the next round. Whereas on another episode, only 6 people made it up the top. And then it was the 4
Yeah.
furthest, fastest. I was like, if I'd have been on another episode, I might have got through.
What was tougher, the warp wall or Everest?
Oh, the warp wall, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though Everest 2.2 that you've got to reach over the ledge?
Yeah. Because you've got to run up, you've got to run up and you've got people there. I'm like, you're gonna catch me. So yeah, 100% the warp wall is, I don't know if it is higher. I think it is. It looks it and it definitely felt it. And obviously it then comes back slightly on itself as well. And you have to just keep running. But yeah, unreal.
Wow. Have we got any more shows that you're planning on doing?
Oh, well, I'd love to do gladiators.
Yeah.
Obviously. My mum did say the other day, she was like, "Are you going to go on Bake Off?" Because I love baking. I was like, oh, but I don't know how to make jam or custard. I'd have to learn. But I mean, I love Bake Off. That would be really cool.
Would
But
you make everything like ocean as well?
yeah, probably.
Yeah, see, that's amazing.
I know they might get a bit bored because every year it's, my birthday cake is, oh, I'm making a mermaid birthday cake. And but if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Celebrity Bake Off, you are Miss Ocean World. What more can we
Well,
say? Watch this space.
do a bit of baking in my crown, drop it into caramel sugar and fish it out again.
Oh, Laura, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. I could go on for hours with you. But I know there's going to be people who are saying that, Alan, you've gone past an hour now. You're going to get us in trouble. We wanted to get back for this 10K run by now. So I'm going to cut it short. We've got to have you on again because it's been so good, so funny. You have got a Tough Mudder code, I assume, Ambassador code still?
Well, it's ended now because they are now totting up our points and they're going to see who gets automatically through to next year. I think, fingers and fins crossed, I think I've done enough volunteering and I've got enough sign-ups to hopefully qualify me again for the ambassador program. If not, I'm just going to apply again and sit in my mermaid tail from a video. So hopefully I will have a new code at some point.
Fantastic. And where will 50 be?
Haven't decided yet. Everyone keeps asking me and I don't know. I actually don't know. I need to plan it and I need to think about it because it depends if I'm going to go to Paris or not. Not sure. We'll
50
see.
in Paris.
Oh, none on me.
Laura, thank you for coming on to our podcast. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been, absolute pleasure and also a complete shock as well. So I'm very grateful to everyone. Thank you.
Well, there you go, guys and girls. I really hope you enjoyed listening to that with me and Laura. Really good chatting to her. I think I laughed nearly all the way through it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to follow us. And join our Patreon train. You get to listen to all these podcasts early. And then it's me and Ian coming up on Friday in the Swift Half. or Thursday if you're Patreon. And we've got more on the British Obstacle Sports UIPM story coming up in that episode. Yeah, it's on the notes already. So thank you, boys and girls, for listening. You take care, you stay safe. We'll speak to you all soon. Bye.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say